We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas.
Hi guys, we're going to do card number 9 in the 12 cards of Christmas. I've really been enjoying doing this, but I started making cards several months ago now, but I do still consider myself new to paper crafting because there's still so much to learn and so much to learn how to do and so much to do. You know, it's a never-ending thing. So when I thought about doing these 12 cards of Christmas, I wanted to do kind of a dialed down version, because when I started I couldn't find just simple things where I didn't have to run out and get a die cutting machine and, you know, spend all of these obscene amounts of money right out the gate. I wanted to be able to have just a few products but make a pretty card. So that's what I wanted for anyone that sees this that's new and just getting into it. That's what I wanted for them, is to be able to have just a few things but make beautiful cards. Or even whimsy cards like my little reindeer card. So I hope you're enjoying it. Let's get into what you need. For this particular card, I'm pulling from two 12 by 12 paper stacks and then one 8.5 by 11 white cardstock, and then you don't even need the full sheet, you just need half and a bit. So the cardstock stacks that I'm using, the red came from this stack here, which I got at Tuesday morning. Most of these products I did get at Tuesday morning. It's just 48 piece Christmas is all it says, but it has 2 different shades of green, 2 different shades of red, and a white. I used the darker red. Hopefully you guys can see that. But I used the darker red in there. To me it felt thicker. So yeah, that's what I'm using there. This is a portrait fold card, not a landscape. Do it whichever way you want to do it. Whichever appeals to you more. Then the other elements that I'm using are from this Me and My Big Ideas 48 piece cardstock pack, and it's just called Merry Christmas. It doesn't really have a name, so there's that. At any rate, my matting for the outside is, where's this page at? It's this page right here. And then an element that I'm adding is this right here, and it comes from this cut apart page of tags. So I got that at Tuesday morning as well. My white cardstock I got at Hobby Lobby. It's the weakest cardstock I've ever seen. It is so flimsy. To me, it's just more of a thick paper than it is a cardstock. The other things I'm using this aged mahogany distress ink from Tim Holtz. I'll be using an ink blending tool with that, and that, you know, I always store my little foam pad inside there because it fits perfect. Then I'm also using this rhinestone ribbon that I got from Dollar Tree, and it comes as 3 rows thick, but I didn't want it that thick, so I cut one of the rows away, and I'm using 2 of those because I want to wrap the top 2 like a package. Then I'm going to use a black ink and then a stamp on the inside. That's what I'll be using the black ink for. I don't know yet which stamp I'm going to use, so we'll decide that in a little bit. Then the last and final thing I'm using, I think that's it, is from this Christmas Crafts from Hobby Lobby. They do have these again this year. I purchased these last year at the end of the season at 90% off. because there is no way on God's green earth I would have paid $3.99 for 4 bows. That's $1 a bow. That's ridiculous. Come on, Hobby Lobby. Anyway, my base is a standard A2 size base. It's 4 1/4 this way by 11 this way and scored at 5 1/2. Then this piece that's going to go on the inside, most people cut this at 4 by 5 1/4. I prefer to have a little bit more framing, I guess you'd call it. So I cut mine at 4 by 5 1/8 instead of 4 by 5 1/4. Do it whichever way you prefer it. It's, you know, not that serious. Then this piece, my matting for the front, is cut at 4 by 5 1/4. Then this piece that's going to go on there is cut at 3 3/8 by 4 1/4. I always write my measurements on the back, then if I need to erase it, it's not that serious. It's easy to do. That way I can tell you guys without having to pull out my ruler every time. But it is cut at 3 3/8 this way by 4 1/4 this way. Then the final piece of paper is this small white one that will go here, and it's cut at 3 1/8 by 3 3/8. And it's going to go on there, something like that. Well, no, I said that was my last and final, but that's not true. This little paper that was a cut apart, and it was a tag, I didn't want it as big as it was, so I went ahead and went to the inside white line and cut it that way, and then used my jelly roll all around the edge. This is going to be kind of over here. My little ribbon, my thinking was doing it kind of like a little wrapped bow or little wrapped present. Now to get started, I'm going to go ahead and use my distress ink around the edges of the papers that I want to distress, so that they have a little bit of time to dry before I go fiddling with them and smear red ink all over them. My dog is being squirrely today. I don't know what his deal is. He's got plenty of food and plenty of water, and I don't know, and I've taken him out, and I've pet him. I've gone down the list of things, you know. Go ahead and put this, attach this, use any glue or adhesive you want to use. Just whatever works best for you, that you like, that you're used to, you know, whatever you're familiar with. If you're new to it and are not sure of what adhesive to use, this that I'm using now is called an ATG, which stands for Advanced Tape Gun, I believe. I got this one, believe it or not, at a garage sale, because these can be pricey. And then I purchase my refills online these days. If I forget to, and I know I'm about out, I'll just go ahead and run to Hobby Lobby and use my 40 off coupon on it. Let's see. Yay, I don't have ink all over my fingers. Then I think I'm going to go ahead and put these two together. Do I want more around these edges on the white? Let's try it. What's the worst that could happen? I have to redo it? That's not so bad. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and attach these two together. I'm not going to pop dot them simply because I'm going to have so much height from the bow that I'm going to put on there, and also from, what am I thinking? It's just from the bow. And just the thickness of the card itself. Goodness. I have my head in the clouds today. Oh well, they were beautiful clouds out today anyway. That's one way to look at it. Alright, so because this is dimensional itself, I'm wondering if I should just stop at each end. I think maybe I should. Because if I go beyond that and put it underneath, then it's going to make this piece all wonky. And I don't want to do that. Well, shoot. Let me get out my art glitter glue, because that's what I'm going to use. I'll put the top piece down first and then... Oh, don't tell me you're stuck. I had the pin in it. That's weird. There it goes. I'm just putting a little bit of glue on each one of these rhinestones. Uh-oh. I went between them that time, because it's falling. And I'm way off center. Which is not abnormal for me. About everything's crooked with me. Well, craft-wise. Oh, no, 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 no. I don't worry if I put too much on there because it dries clear. That's why if I get a little heavy-handed, it's okay. It dries clear. And you're not really going to notice all of that once I attach the other. And I don't throw away my little cut-off pieces, because say I was making a snowman and I wanted to do like a little hat band, and it's a tiny hat. You could cut this in half and use it as a hat band, or you can cut the 3 little pieces off and use it as holly berry. That's funny. That's the way I look at things, is, okay, can I use this? Will I use this? Is it worth hanging on to? You know what I mean? Because sometimes things are just not worth hanging on to. I have a big bucket of scrap paper, and I mean a big, and it's not a bucket, it's a basket from that dollar section at Target. It was $5, so it's one of the great big ones. And I mean, I have it overstuffed with cut off paper, thinking I was going to use it, you know, and then now I've not used it. So I need to go through it and see what, and pull out what I could use, and then recycle the rest. That's what I need to do. Now this piece, because I glued that down, I can't tuck it up under it. Why'd I do that? Let's see. If I catch it quick enough, I might be able to. No, I messed myself up here. That was kind of silly on my part. Just hold it a minute. I'm going to put a little bit more glue under this part down here so it doesn't poke way up. Now, cover up my glue. Glue spots are kind of showing there, so I'm gonna have to figure out a different way to do my bow. I could have even used green and white. Oh no, wait a minute, what's that doing? Where are you going? Where's your tails? That came all the way apart. Why? Because it doesn't have any real... Take the pin out. My goodness. Ding dong. Of course, these are a year old, so I could see why the glue would not be as good as it, or as fresh as it was, you know. Hey, no. Stick down, you. I'll put a little bit on this side too. And stick it back to its dimensional. And now, these other three are doing the same exact thing. And they stayed in the bag when the acetate came out. That don't make any sense. Alright, there's the red and white one. Yeah, these don't have any sticky on them really at all. So you might be mindful of that if you're buying these at the end of the season with hopes to use them the next year, like I did last year. That they do lose their sticky, because that's not sticky at all. I mean, there's like zero sticky there. Which would be better, the green and white or the red and white? Let's look, since we're here pedaling anyway. There's the green and white. And then there's the red and white. I think the red and white. I'm gonna have to stand up to look. I was thinking green because, see, this has got some green in it, but it all gets covered up. So I'm gonna go with red and white. And I'm going to have to set these off to the side while they dry. And then I might as well go ahead and pull that apart, because it, again, doesn't have any sticky on it. Since I have my wet glue out here, I'm just going to go ahead and use it instead of using my two-sided tape or ATG or, you know, whichever. And I did not need that much glue, but since I was talking, I just got carried away, like putting more on there. Goodness. Now my tag hangs off of the card a little bit, but I think it'll be alright. Oh, I was going to add more dimensionals. Let's see. How thick is that? Let's just use this one. This is that 3M foam tape. I got it at Walmart because I was there and I remembered that I needed some. Oh. Put a little bit right here on the ends of these tails because this is going over that ribbon there. Let's see. No, come on. There's that one. I'm just gonna cut these off. These I got from Joann's. I just ordered them online because I was just on there browsing and saw that they had them on clearance when I ordered them, so I like those clearance finds. When you find things on clearance, you can buy more things, you know? They say usually you should do things that are in odd numbers are more visually appealing, is what they say. But I just say do what feels right to you, you know? If it's 4 instead of 3, it would be okay. And sometimes I get way too carried away with bling. I'll get started and just keep on going. If one's good, 12's got to be great. Now, should I put a red one? No, I don't think so. I think that's enough. I hope you guys are enjoying this. You know, I was nervous and had some reservations about doing this because I'm so new to it that, you know, I don't have all the answers for sure, and I don't do all of the beautiful coloring, and oh, I haven't stamped the inside yet. And I don't have a Cricut or a Brother Scan and Cut. My husband offered to get me one, but at this point, I don't think I would use it enough to justify the expense. You know? And that's how I look at things, is 1, realistically, am I going to use it in a timely manner? 2, what am I going to use it for? Do I have an actual thought in mind? And 3, do I have space for it? You know? That's kind of the first couple of questions I ask myself about things. I'm just going to use this little Merry Christmas that is in this stamp set that I got from Hobby Lobby last year, but they have it again this year. So, you know, it might be something if you want. You can get that 40% off as well. That's what I did. So, and they stamp good. I just don't like the wood mounted because I can't see where I'm putting it. Can't see through it. Which, let's face it, I put everything on crooked, whether I can see through it or not. Or too far one side or too far another side. So I've just kind of accepted that. It'll be alright. They definitely know it's homemade. Is this still wet? Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty. Let's see how crooked it is. Yeah, it's kind of crooked, but I think it'll be alright. So let me let that dry for just a minute. And then I get out my ATG since I put my glue away already. Otherwise, I'd probably just use the wet glue again. I love that glue. It's definitely worth the price. Got too far off the edge that time. What in the world is the deal? See where I had glue on my fingers and had the ink as well. Move over. There. So there it is, card number 9. Let me know what you think. I hope you guys like it. Thanks for spending a little time with me. You guys have a great day and a glorious tomorrow. Bye, guys.